Hello, guys. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. I'm here with my colleague, and we just want to look at the level of escalation of these Endsars protests. But it's no more Endsars protests now. It's now NSWAT protests. Right now, it has escalated beyond the boundaries of Nigeria, beyond the boundaries of internet. It has now gone as far as the UN, and the Secretary General has responded to it. But first of all, looking at what has happened thus far, we've heard that Google has
Oh
said
yes.
something about these protests. So, with all of this going on, do you think that the present day government is so tense, and all of that?
Obviously, before now we're used to the likes of Shehu Gaba talking, and of course the one and only Femi Adesina. If he's not saying that who is United States to become Nigerian police or police of Nigeria, he would tell you that Nigerian this kind of protest or revolution we are doing or is child's play.
Oh my
Well,
God,
for
so
I
insulting.
tell you, recently, Adesina seemed to be very quiet.
Oh,
In fact,
yeah,
yeah, he
exactly.
seemed to have lost his voice.
Yes.
Before now, you would have heard him saying something about this protest. He told us, and I can still quote him, he said that protest is spontaneous. And I
Mhm.
can assure you, this particular protest has been spontaneous.
Very
And he has
spontaneous.
not even been talking all of a sudden. In fact, I was waiting for Adesina to talk. And I know if he had opened his mouth to talk, Nigerians will
Yes,
come for him.
exactly.
And he has been so exceptionally quiet. Loretta
Mm,
that tried talking, Whiskey gave it to her.
yeah.
So right now, all the media aides of the presidency are very calm, they are
Mm,
quiet, and of course, truly, the world is watching.
exactly. Let's just look at what United Nations have to say. And the news have it that the United Nations on Thursday said they are following the Endsars protests in Nigeria. Secretary General Antonio Guterres commended the government's decision to undertake broader reforms in the Nigerian police. Guterres spoke through his spokesman, Stephen Dujari in New York. The UN chief said he was prepared to accompany Nigeria in those efforts. He welcomed the disbandment of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad SARS and urged the government to undertake broader police reforms. The war body urged the country's security forces to exercise maximum restraint in their response. The Secretary General is following the protests in Nigeria calling for the dissolution of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad and an end to human rights violations allegedly committed by security agencies. The Secretary General stressed the importance of respect for peaceful protest and freedom of assembly and called on the security forces to exercise maximum restraint in the policing of the demonstration. Wow, this is really shocking. Nigerians have reacted to this, and this one says, I will advise the youth anything you do not get down from the protest, you will not never get again. You
I
have
tell
to
you.
be resolute and fight for your freedom and your future. Do not be afraid. The world has rejected Buhari and his regime. You have the support of the world. Do not yield an inch. Your freedom is here. God bless lover of freedom. God bless freedom fighters. God bless everyone. Listen to other persons respond. And this one here says, good, the government have brought it to the wall, to the wall attention. And now, okay, say thanks goodness BBN and they just in the nick of time to give youth time to reset their brain. So one says we must retire these old men, all of them. This administration should be the last job they can get at as politicians. We will no longer vote politicians. We want a minister for health. We look for the brightest mind in the health sector. Okay, when we look for Minister of Health, we look for the brightest minds in the health sector. How can Rotimi Amechi, a man who everyone begs Henry Alakwiki to graduate with third class in political science, become Minister for Transport, if not political affiliation? We must make political posts unattractive with very little pay so that only genuine people can aspire for such positions. Now, looking at what the first responders said, talking about the issue of making adequate demands from the government now, do you think it's a good step or a good advice for the youth that we should make adequate demands now?
Over the years, the youth have always been, permit me to use the word docile. Docile in the sense that, like fella Nicola Kokute once said, he said, Nigerians, we are used to suffering and smiling, okay? And over the years as well, the politicians have seen Nigerians as talkers, never doers. Most times, in worst case scenario, we just, talk on social media, we do not react. But this one is spontaneous. No one expected it. Politicians never expected this. Even Nigerians themselves didn't even expect it
Expect the people involved in
themselves.
this
They
protest,
didn't
they
even
didn't even
expect it was
expect
going
it
to
was
be
going to be
like
like
this.
exactly.
Exactly. So, like
Yeah.
the first respondent said, I think I totally stand with him. Right now, you have the attention of the whole world. Okay, demand everything now. Right, in fact, you have the government at exactly where you want them. So,
Hmm.
if it wants reform, this is the best time for it. If you want a referendum, this is the best time for it. In fact, starting with Endsars, because if you do this too often, after a while they'll be like, it's like Nigerian youth are troublesome persons. So the best thing to do right now is, just as you're asking for reform, definitely demand also that there should be this, there should be that. In fact, make, when you're asking for your point and your agenda, list it all, including every other thing you feel is not right. This is the best time, honestly. Like, if before now we're used to whatever the government of the day deem fit as their appointees, they get it right. When there was an outcry over Loretta's appointment, it was not surprising that they didn't even allow her to go through it. She
Hmm.
was removed. In fact, without even much ado, they didn't appoint. They didn't allow the appointment to pull through. But if it was before now, it would have been a case of take a bow and move.
Exactly.
But you now begin to see that the Nigerian youth are react. I feel that, like Aisha Yusufu has said, make sure that not it's not going to be audio talks alone. Let's begin to see practical things happen, like the whole issue of SWAT. For now, let it be on hold.
Exactly.
Let's see. In fact, what surprised me today, in fact, when I saw it, I was so super excited when the legendary Femi Anikulapo Kuti's son, I'm talking about, yes,
Femi.
his son,
Yeah.
came out. He came out and protested in Alausa in Lagos State. The talks came and beat up protesters in Lagos State. Femi himself came out and said, "Look, no more. The protesters are entitled to their free right." He came out with his boys. He's going to. He marched. And I was so proud of him,
Oh.
And this is what we're talking about, because everybody seemed to be involved. Politicians, I mean, sorry, celebrities, Nigerians, everybody. And this,
Pastors, everyone
past
are involved.
everybody is involved. So honestly, we have the government where we want them.
But right now, I feel also that as much as we are getting excited about this whole thing, the youth must be very objective. What I mean by being objective, we must be so straight to paint out the kind of society we are looking for, and we also make look at the government to see how they are going about it. You understand?
Okay.
Because right now, Femi Gbajabiamila is suggesting that we need to sit back and see what the government will have to sit back and see if government will fulfill its promises.
Mm-mm.
That's what he said. That Nigerians need to sit back, but we are not ready to sit back and see it happen.
Good.
We'll be on the street till
It
the
happens.
promises are
Start.
being
You
fulfilled.
understand? Let it start taking
Let it
place.
start taking place so that we know that hey, these guys are really serious.
Because we're
The
used to the audio things.
yeah, for a long time now, the atmosphere of distrust within Nigerian government is had been so much thick. People seem not to trust government again. So whatever we are demanding within this period, we have to ensure that you have kickstarted it and at least you've gone 80% of it before we get out of the street. But one of the things I want to say is that youths need to be very objective. Let's begin to sit back even if it is in groups. Alausa, we have it in Alausa, we have it Lekki, Toll Gate, we have it in Bini, we have it in different places, and people are even on like vigil. You see people say it shouldn't just be something that, hey, we just want the whole world to know that something's happening. No, as at this time that you know that you've gotten them by the balls, it is now a time that we need to sit as the individual groups and we now say, what are the things that we need? Spell it out, put it before the government. Alausa, they will put it, Abuja will put it, Lagos and toll gate people, they will put it, this thing in Edo State, they'll put front their own, Anambra will front their own,
Rivers,
Rivers will front
the
their
whole of
own, the
Nigeria.
whole of Nigeria. These are the things that we want. If it gets to a particular level, we call for those things to be, to be cataloged, and we now present it to them and say, this is are the things we want. So that at the end of the day, we'll have reason to walk away and see those things, fulfilled, so that Nigeria can be a better place. That's what we like.